Again, I'm a voyeur, so I love it. I'll watch it. I don't.
It was definitely.
Sideshows that would come in and stuff. Do you still do those?
Yeah.
Oh, and the butterflies, before you get on, you're waiting in line.
Certified free, 7 days a week.
So, Marilu, would you like to know what my favorite part of our intro is?
What was that?
I said, would you like to know what my favorite part of the intro is?
What?
When it's me, you, and Jillian on the screen, and you're giggling at something that was said. There's just that giggle right there.
Okay, well, you're going to have to forgive me because I am not seeing your video. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, well, I will tell you that the Merce Sausage was the first one out of the gate. He says, "Good evening from Ohio, a true violator." And then we got Big Bacchus.
I saw that. That I did see pop up.
Yeah, Big Bacchus, Chantel's in the house, and then there's two more lurking in the darkness somewhere. We'll see if we can get them to chime in. So we have a total of 5 viewers. Mary Lou, I know you can't see the screen, but would you mind sharing with everybody? Share it with everybody where you are at, because you are clearly not in your office.
I am not in my office. I am currently in Puerto Vallarta, enjoying the sun over here at Resort Musai, and just got here this morning, so just kind of enjoying all the amenities so far today.
Nice. You said you were talking before we get on. You said it was pretty hot there.
It is, yes, very hot, sweltering hot. So much so that when the bellman brought us up to our suite, he brought us out to the balcony, which is where I'm at. As you see the tile behind me. And he was giving us instructions on how to use the hot tub. And I'm like, it's 92 degrees outside. And the hot tub was at 114 or 120 or something like that. And I'm like, I don't think we'll be using the hot tub today. But thank you.
What's up, Keith?
Hey, Keith. So, but yes, it is definitely hot. It's a little hazy now. But we just got out of the pool and decided to come back into our room so that I could check in with everybody and, get ready for our dinner reservations this evening.
Bubbles just joined in. How you doing, Bubbles?
Hey, Bubbles.
Are you still no video, Mary Lou?
No, I see your face, but I see no movement. But everything else is coming in okay. Just
good.
you're kind of like.
It reminds me of the when we first started streaming, and I don't know if our rigs weren't set up right or whatever, but it seemed like we were constantly having issues with the stream. There was freezing or no audio or no video or something.
Right.
I think of everybody who's watching right now. It's the Merce Sausage who's been watching for the longest.
Yes.
I think he's been watching since episode 1.
Definitely episode 1 and a few other episodes from our other blog, the Confessions of a Sex Club Owner, I believe, when it was just audio.
Right. we've got several interviews that we've got to put together, and actually we have a couple that we've already done that we've got to get put up here soon. So I'm thinking maybe
Yeah.
beginning of fall we'll get these episodes put up.
Yep.
Maybe get a few more under our belt.
Yeah, we've just been collecting those.
So
Love you too, Mike.
I'm wondering if we can talk about this past weekend real quick while I have you on here. We had two events. One was fantastic. One was a lot of country.
Your audio is out for me all of a sudden.
Okay. How about
But you
now?
wanted to talk about this weekend, and Friday was the Giddy Up Country Night,
It was.
correct?
Yes. What I'm personally not a fan of country music, but we've had so many people that have requested a country music night. We had done it several times in the past, and I hate to say this because I really wanted to be wrong for this event, but it just ended up being one of those events that doesn't catch.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me
Yep.
because country is the number one genre of music in the United States.
Well, as Bubble says, a little bit country and a little bit of rock and roll.
Actually, Bubble says not a little bit of country.
Yes, true.
Well, that's kind of interesting that I'm just going to piggyback on what Bubbles just said.
Yeah.
We have going up on the schedule a rock night for a Friday night. I think it's in November, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see real quick if I can pull it up.
Okay. That's right. You were supposed to be working on the year-end schedule today.
Yes, I have been. Actually, everything is up, but not everything is published yet. So
Got it. Got it.
working
That's
on
fine.
things like the flyers and some ad copy and all that fun stuff. While we're talking about
All the
events,
good
and I'm trying to figure this out real quick. It is, it'll be Friday, November 14th. So it's actually the
Well,
second.
Bacchus,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Big Bacchus said that 6 Degrees was a great event. And can he bring a pet rock to the rock and roll party?
As long as you promise to keep it on a leash and don't throw it at anybody.
Oh, yeah. That would be.
We don't want any. The last place we want rock throwing is at the shop. Both literally and figuratively.
Okay.
So, but yeah, 6 Degrees of Sexuality. That just, it's really interesting with that specific event because it always seems to do really well.
Yes.
It'd be great if we could just do that every single weekend, because it's really fantastic. We had, I think, over 30 new members come through the doors that night. That's on top of the few that came in on Friday.
Yes.
So Chantel says it's literally the third time today they've heard about pet rocks. Well, maybe you should look into getting one. I hear they're very well behaved. Anyway, so yeah, 6 Degrees of Sexuality really does well for us. And I think it has a lot to do with the idea of the wristbands sort of signaling for people. I want to say almost an icebreaker. Would you say that's an icebreaker?
I would say that's an icebreaker. It's kind of like because everyone's kind of looking at everyone's wrists and like, oh, what colors are those? Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely, it opens up the floor for conversation. Even if they're not wearing something that piques your interest. It gives people the opportunity to say hi, express themselves, and where normally they wouldn't, you know. So definitely an icebreaker.
Yeah, excuse me. It certainly seems that's the case with
Yeah.
this specific event. Plus, I think for some new people, and I'm just kind of hypothesizing my thoughts on this, that
Hmm.
new people when they know they can put on something that says, "Hey, we're just checking things out," which is the red wristband, it
Hmm.
gives them this like sense of security that you know they're not going to be bothered or they're not going to have to fight people off or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's without having to say it and without having to feel like they're disappointing somebody, by saying no or not being able to say no. The
Hmm.
wristband kind of takes care of that for them.
Right. Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. Bubble says that 6 degrees ended wonderfully for them. They definitely the kind of fun they've needed over over the past insanely busy month.
Awesome.
Sounds like
It's good to hear.
Bubbles had a good time playing one of the games at the club.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Maybe.
ooh.
So um, I'm wondering, you and I have been doing this a long time, but prior to you and I doing this together, did you ever
Uh-huh.
attend an event where they had that sort of setup, where if you wore a certain color, it would denote a certain something?
Um, Back then it was like literally just the traffic light party, where it
Hmm.
was just the red, red, yellow, green
Right.
aspect of things. But now, since it's morphed into something so much bigger, you know, it actually not only allows people to talk about whether they're ready to jump in, they're just a little shy, thinking about it still, or if they're all gun ho. Um, but now with all the other different colors, it gives you the option to say in a roundabout way a little bit more of what you're interested for or looking for.
Right.
Whether it's couples or female or males or you know, and how that all works out. So it's definitely morphed into something bigger.
So
No pun intended.
there was a mild controversy regarding the wristbands on Saturday night that kind of spilled over into a conversation today with the staff.
Okay.
So, with 6 degrees of sexuality, in the past,
Hmm.
the pink, blue, and purple denoted feminine presenting, male presenting, or interested in both or all genders.
Right.
And we had gotten some pushback, I think, at maybe one of the last ones. And so, and because they were saying, well, there's nothing that denotes if you're only looking for a couple. So this time around, I switched it around to mean that purple meant that you were looking for couples. And there were a lot of people that seemed to be disappointed about that, or at least confused about it. So I
I
think,
think you need to add another color.
uh, well, then it's 7 degrees of sexuality. Does that mean we've
Well,
turned it up a notch?
well, I think you know, okay, so it's generally male presenting, female presenting, and or all of the above,
Right.
correct?
Hmm.
So
That's what
whether
it was
you're
previously.
okay, so whether you're looking for a couple and or a single, um, I don't think that that's part of the 6 degrees. I think that's just like
Like a bonus.
Just a bonus. Yeah, like your original wristband to get into the space should signify whether you're looking for a couple or a single.
Okay, we'll have to give that some thought.
I don't know. Yeah. No. It might be something to definitely think about because everyone's gotten so used to what the colors mean, and then you throw a wrench in that.
Well,
Hello.
well, I think for the next time around, Shane says there are 60 minutes contained in every degree.
Yes.
Yes, that is very true. Thank you, Shane, for the. Is that geography? Would that be a geography thing? Anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention we got reapproved to go live on TikTok, so we are live on TikTok now.
Oh, awesome!
So,
hey, Jason.
although I don't think anybody's watching on TikTok, so what's up, Jason?
There's a few, maybe. I don't know, but
No, I just looked. There's nobody on TikTok.
Yeah.
We do have one watching on Twitch, so
awesome.
most of our viewers are coming. Thank you, Shane. Geometry.
You weren't so good at geometry, were you?
I'm just going to reiterate this for those who are watching possibly for the first time. I barely got out of high school, so,
Okay.
like, honestly, reading geometry, I'm not even sure if you had asked me to spell geometry right now before I just thought that I'd be able to. So, my schooling days are over. Oh no!
I lost you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You just don't know
here.
video.
Okay. I'm here. Oh, why's my camera not coming up?
Let's see.
Oh. Okay.
What?
That's okay. It keeps going out and coming back in.
Can you hear me okay?
But I can hear you fine, yes.
This kind of reminds me when
it's just
it kind of reminds me when Ann used to be on, but she wouldn't be on, and you and I would be talking, and it would be Ann talking in the background. Bubble says, "Don't feel bad. I dropped out of freshman year. Still ended up going to college, though. To be fair, I went to one semester of college. So, Marilu, you were getting ready to say something."
Okay. I'm trying to
get your video back.
Nope. Trying to get back. I don't know if I'm there or not.
I'm gonna hide.
No camera, but
we got audio.
Okay. Okay.
Well, now you can make faces and nobody will know.
Yeah, right. As soon as I make a face, all of a sudden it's gonna pop back up.
That would be funny, actually.
Because that would be the norm for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am going to go ahead and dip out since I'm having some
technical difficulties
here. Yeah. Like even I click it, it tells me to press V and nothing works.
Maybe the phone's overheating.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
well, listen, go enjoy the rest of your vacation. I will see you on Friday. But I will obviously be talking to you before then. So okay.
Yes, right. Definitely. Keeping my eyes on. I'm over here making faces saying I'm keeping my eyes on you and you can't see me. So what's the point?
Well, te amo, cucharita.
Te amo también.
Okay.
I'm in Puerto Vallarta, Jason.
Marilu is
But
2,700
so
miles away in Puerto Vallarta. Actually, I don't know if it's
yes,
2,700
yes.
miles or not, but
So uh, thank you, Bubbles. So I am going to uh, bid all of you an adieu and farewell until we see each other this coming
all right,
weekend.
Marilu, we'll see you later.
Okay. Bye bye, everyone.
Okay, now it's just me, and I have no idea how I'm going to fill 40 minutes, unless you don't mind helping out, and we could do an ask. You can do an ask me anything, or I could just talk about random stories, or I don't know. It's not very often I get to do this monologue. Anyone? Anyone got anything? Um, Last week I've been thinking a lot about things like. Thanks, Big Bacchus. I appreciate that. I figured you guys would all stick around at least for a little bit until I completely flounder out here. But we've seen Jason. Why didn't I go with her? This was thanks, Bubbles. Uh, this trip specifically was a sort of a walk through. Mary Lou and a good friend of hers and counterpart are wanting to put together some sort of retreat down there in Mexico. So they went to go view this property to see if it would be appropriate for the retreat. So anyway, so I stuck around here. Plus, I've just got so much work. Obviously, Mary Lou was saying about how I've been working on the rest of the 2025 schedule, which really gives me anxiety to do. Trying to figure out which events to put where. Obviously, the things like Halloween and New Year's Eve and some of the Christmas parties and stuff like that is sort of easy to put together, but by and large, doing the schedule for the year just really frazzles me. So Chantel says that they actually just watched a bunch of ghost hunting videos. So I wonder about that. We were talking about that not too long ago about like ghost hunter shows or whatever, and I'm wondering if you actually believe there are ghosts, or if in those shows there are ghosts, and just kind of wondering your guys' opinion on that. I figure, me personally, there are probably ghosts. I mean, when you pass along, something's got to happen, right? I mean, you don't just, I mean, I understand the physiology of it all, but your soul, your spirit, like, it's got to go somewhere, right? Big Bacchus says they always love New Year's Eve at the shop. They imagine it being a challenge to fit all the other events in. It's really just trying to find events that cater to enough of our members that they want to come out. We've gotten hyper specific on events before, trying to cater to more niches, but it can be challenging actually. The club does over 100 events a year. That's a lot, and to try and keep them all fun and unique and interesting or whatever is really a challenge. So Bubble says that they don't believe in the shows themselves, but they do believe there is some sort of spirit realm. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Big Bacchus isn't 100% sure, seemingly, on whether or not they're ghosts, but either way, they're playing it safe and they try not to anger the spirits. So I think that's a safe bet. So anyway, so I want to circle back. Last week we were talking about the shop as it relates to people who come there that aren't necessarily interested in participating with others. And I notice, I guess, a decent number of people who come to the club brand new who are really just looking to reconnect with each other. And or if they're an individual, looking for a primary partner. I say that specifically because, number one, there are a number of people who have found their partners, their life partners here at the club, have gotten married as a result of that. So I find it interesting that there are individuals that come here that actually are looking for long-term partners, which I think is really, really cool. So Bubble says that they think we should do a sexy Renaissance event. We did the pirate event, but just kind of a general Renaissance. Yeah, we kind of did that, I think, last year. I don't know if Dungeons and Shagons would categorize as a Renaissance style event. But I agree, Bubbles. There are a lot of nerds at the shop. Speaking of that, we have the fan friction party on Saturday. Speaking of nerds, I'll be curious to see what outfits people wear on Saturday. So, but anyway, so yes, I find it interesting that there are couples that come to the club also who aren't necessarily interested in having the swinger experience, so to speak. But they're really looking for a space to spice things up, maybe rekindle a spark, especially people who have been together for a long time, or there's a lot of stressors, or work, kids, family, school, all of those things, and it's super easy to forget that you need to take time for yourselves. And by time for yourselves, I mean time where you can actually be intimate with each other, hold each other, kiss each other, hug each other, fondle each other. I think that's super important. And so even if you're not necessarily interested in connecting with other people, or people other than your primary partner or spouse, you can still enjoy the space and enjoy what it has to offer. First and foremost, a community of people who are going to applaud you and encourage you to be explorative and be yourself. And then also the actual amenities of the club. But I think that the former is the most important part of that, because if you don't feel comfortable in any space or around the people who surround you, you're never going to relax and open up and actually enjoy what the space has to offer. And I think that the people at the shop really do a great job of, by the people I mean the members, of being very open and welcoming and accepting. Big Baka says the club is really a social place. The vibe is fire. Thank you. And it's such a place to escape to. Yeah. I have a good friend of mine, and him and I talk about this, and he comments that, the club environment can be sometimes too much. And what he means by that is that if you're actually trying to connect with other people, doing so in a shorter time span, 3, 4, 5 hours, depending on how much time you have available. The events are about 5 hours long. It can be a lot of pressure to do that. which makes it really important to, if you really want to vibe in the community, is to attend more than once or twice a year. I know that's difficult for some people to get out more, but if you really want to, connect in that way, I think being there is important. So, but yeah, having a place to escape to is wonderful, and I know that there are people that use that. You need that little bit of time to shed all the BS from your week or your month or your year or whatever the case is. So, I'm wondering, just kind of wondering out loud, what Big Baka says that the news feed helps with connections as well. Yeah, that's very true. Especially for new people, when you become a member, you have what's called the inner social network of the club. And right now there are about 1,600 active members, and all of those people have access to this online social network for the club, and they can interact and send messages and post pictures and really sort of get to know other members before you actually show up. I'm curious, for those of you who have actually been to the shop before, if you don't mind sharing, what were the reasons, or what prompted you to actually, I guess, pull the trigger and join the shop? And then what was that like for you your first time, if you don't mind sharing? I personally, I didn't, my first experience at a lifestyle club was actually running a lifestyle club. I had never actually been to a swingers club before. Actually, that's not true. Like Marilu, many years prior, I had actually been to the exact same, I would say it was a lifestyle hangout. It was a place called the Playpen. And Marilu has told a story about her first experience being at this space. That actually was my experience also, from a little bit different perspective, but I didn't actually know when I was there what it was. So Chantel agrees that the newsfeed aspect makes things easier. It's a great way to connect. It is. You'll, of course, you're going to see naughty pictures and stuff like that, and sometimes it can be a lot. Even for us in the staff, there's a lot on there. But by and large, it's really about being social and communicating with each other, and kind of, I would say, gassing each other up, boosting each other's egos. Actually, I want to, if I can find this, I had a really, really proud Papa moment today. Here, is this it? Oh, I hope this is it. Nope. So here, I'm actually pulling up our Google reviews. And the reason I'm pulling them up is, actually just about 10 days ago, somebody left a really crappy review for the club, and it was really just they had gotten declined, and they were not happy about that, and they thought it was for some odd reason that they got declined and whatever. So we communicated back and forth, and we tried to explain, the situation and offer them the opportunity to come back. Didn't work out. So they left this really snarky 1-star review. I was bothered by it, but hey, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. And then this review came in today, and I'm actually, I'm going to read it because I thought it was really wild, and it really, it felt great. So the review it reads, I joined the club about 2 months ago, and in that short time, it's completely transformed my confidence. It's now higher than it's ever been. My circle of friends has grown more than I could have more than I could have imagined, and I've connected with amazing people who share my mindset and values. This club fosters a true sense of community, offering the chance to learn from those with more experience and to explore your own desires in a safe, supportive environment. It's helped guide me toward becoming the version of myself I've always wanted to be. The owners and the staff are warm, welcoming, and genuinely invested in creating a positive atmosphere. Management goes above and beyond to ensure that every experience is not only enjoyable, but also safe and fully consensual. I'm so grateful I found this place. It's been life-changing. S. I haven't responded to that yet, and I'm normally pretty good about that, but I really wanted to take that in and to have somebody say that out loud, that that's been their experience, and that in just 8 weeks their life is completely different. I think that's what people don't quite understand specifically about the shop and how it differs from what people think a club like the shop is like. And so I really want to invite anybody who has ever felt shameful, shy, embarrassed about their own sexuality, to really consider checking out the shop at some point and find out what it feels like to belong. So anyway, a lot of shameless self-promotion tonight. See what happens when you leave me to my own devices. So yeah, that came in today, and that really warmed my heart. And we actually get emails like that, messages usually, privately, quite often, and that's really what keeps me doing this. I think that, let me rephrase that. I know that when you can fully embrace, accept who you are in that way, it really is an unlock for your life. And if you're a couple, or if you're partnered, or you've got poly partners, if you can really get down to it, and I mean deep into it, and fully express who you are, share your wants, thoughts, desires, without feeling shameful, you are opening up your life to something incredible, something that you could have never imagined before. I will tell you that, and I'm saying this obviously outside of Marilu's presence, but I think she would agree, that because her and I have become so open about our sexuality and become vulnerable with each other and shared those things with each other, it's allowed us to connect at such a deep level. I only see Marilu and I going to the very end together. So I hope for that. I hope for you, if you're watching this, that you find that sort of connection with somebody and with yourself. And with yourself. The self-judgment, the shame is the worst, absolute worst part of it. I have suffered from it. At times I can suffer from it. But by and large, I've accepted who I am, the way I am, and my sexuality, and Marilu has. And I couldn't imagine life being any better than it is this way. So Big Baka says that they grew up in a very sex negative world, and the shop helped them feel alive, and that they couldn't be more grateful. Yeah, I like that for people. It's really the reason I do this now. Certainly not for the money. So but I do love doing this, and I couldn't even imagine doing anything else. So, honestly, I don't really have much else to say, guys. If you have anything you want to ask me, again, we can use this as an ask me anything. If you've got a burning question, something you want to ask me personally, professionally, it doesn't matter. Chantel says, I hope for what you and Marilu have for themselves one day. Chantel, you can absolutely have that. It starts with you, though. You have to love, accept, and embrace yourself for who you are today, no matter what. And once you start loving yourself first, then it makes it possible for somebody else to love you exactly the way you love yourself. And that's the key. You have to love yourself in the way that you want so that someone else knows how you want to be loved. It's the only way it works. Otherwise, you'll see my moniker, recovering people pleaser. Otherwise, you're just masking and manipulating to be in the relationship. So Big Bacchus asked the question, who is Ed Pinto from the intro? The bathtub is funny. So Ed Pinto has been a friend of the shop for a very long time. They are one of the first people we met when Marilu and I moved to Pittsburgh, sort of in the kink scene, or in the scene in general. And so I think it was during COVID, we did a live stream interview with him, and he literally did the interview from his bathtub while eating, I think it was an apple pie, but it might have been a cherry pie. But there is an actual whole episode of Ed Pinto being interviewed from a bathtub. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll put the link up at some point. It's a pretty wild interview. So he is a very interesting and wild character, to say the least. So, but yeah, I really don't have much else, guys. I guess I'll talk a little bit about some things that we have coming up really quick. This weekend is the original Freaky Friday. I don't believe this week we have Central Outreach here. Let me just double check really fast so that you guys know. But I don't think Central Outreach is here this weekend. No. So Central Outreach is not doing testing this Friday at Freaky Friday. For those of you who are really interested in BDSM or kink, Freaky Friday is the event to come to. I would say it's definitely a heavier, we say it's the darker side of kinky. And what I mean by that is you're going to see some of the more fringe or extreme aspects of kink and BDSM at a Freaky Friday. This Saturday is the Fan Friction Party, which is sort of the shop's play on cosplay and hentai and just sort of a whole encapsulation of sort of that Comic-Con culture. So for this Saturday, it's a dress event, although if you're not interested in dressing, that's certainly not mandatory. We would just ask that you follow the dress code. I'm going to reiterate a couple things. We had some schedule changes for August. Wednesday, August 27th is no longer karaoke. It's now game night. And the karaoke has been moved to Friday, September 5th, which is now Sing and Swing. We also just added to the schedule Happy Hour, which is the first and third Thursdays of the month. And Happy Hour is specifically for new people. They can simply RSVP, show up to the club, and more or less do a walkthrough. This will be like more of a true open house. Members are welcome to attend. It is absolutely free. There is no door fee to attend that event. Also on the calendar for September 12th, I'm pointing this out because I have the survey up for just maybe about another 15 or so hours. It's the Neuro Spicy event. And basically we have a survey up to find out from our Neuro Spicy members what a successful event would look like for them. So if you are a Neuro Spicy person and you're interested, please go check out September's schedule on September 12th and fill out the survey. Hex Rated Halloween is on sale. We have already gone through the first tier of tickets. The Wicked Deal tickets are officially completely gone. And now we're on to the Summer Spell tickets. Those are only while supplies last. So the event is about 40% sold out right now. So if you're interested in Halloween, please consider grabbing your tickets now. So Bubbles asked, sorry, I was reading all the stuff on the calendar, Bubbles. Let me answer your question. Bubbles asked if I ever plan on growing out my facial hair. So I'll find a picture. I was probably in my mid 30s, late 30s, and I had a goatee for probably 6 months or a year. And, but otherwise I've never had facial hair. Just never been a thing for me. And now most of it's white. So if I grew out facial hair, I'd probably look about 10 years older than I actually am now. So, I don't know. Anything else, folks? If there aren't any other questions, I'm going to invite anybody who's watched the live stream and is interested in attending the club to visit bodyshoppittsburgh.com. You can actually click the Apply Now button, fill out your application to submit for your online profile. Make sure you follow the instructions, and it'll walk you through the entire process. It takes about 10 minutes, 15 if you really take your time and put down what you're interested in, why you want to join. If you're not quite ready for the club experience, thanks, Bubbles. I appreciate that. If you're not quite ready for the club experience, but you're interested in exploring things like ethical non-monogamy or polyamory or kinky or whatever, and you're not really sure who to talk to, or maybe you need some help navigating things with a partner in your relationship, you can visit marilunew.com, speak to a board certified sexologist who does also happen to be my lovely wife, who is not on the live stream right now. I've never heard Arctic Fox before. Yeah, my hair is pretty white. It's getting there. There's a little gray left in here, but or a little bit of dark, but by and large, it's mostly gone. I'm a big fan of the 80-20 principle, and I think I'm definitely on the 80% side of white. Oh, Chantel, no. Listen, I guess I could probably ask people to do that. And I think maybe once in the past I did, because somebody left a really shitty review a long time ago. But honestly, I know what we do. I know why we do it. And, we certainly don't decline people for nefarious reasons, or, certainly not because we are, what's the word I'm looking for? Discriminatory in any way. We certainly, we encourage, the club is about inclusivity and diversity. We want a more diverse base of people, which is why sometimes we are very discerning about who becomes a member. Specifically, if your application looks like the only thing you're interested in is showing up and getting in bed with somebody and having a good time, probably not the place for you. Can that happen? Sure. Is it more likely that you're going to socialize with people first? Yes. So, no, I know, Chantel, but no, it does suck when we get shitty reviews like that, or the ones that are just random, like almost like somebody just said, "Ooh, I don't like this place." Bunk, 1-star review. But we appreciate all the reviews that come in, and we certainly appreciate feedback from the members. If and when there's ever anything that you guys think could help make the club better, please, please, please send me an email. My direct email is g@bodyshoppittsburgh.com, or you can send it to hello@bodyshoppittsburgh.com. Either way, that gets to me. So if you do ever have a suggestion, complaint, concern, accolade, I'm always open to listening. So, all right, folks. Well, listen, I managed to get to 50 minutes and 25 seconds. So I'm going to take the opportunity to skedaddle out of here if there isn't anything else. Just a quick reminder that this weekend is Freaky Friday. No testing for Central Outreach. Hey, Melvin. Melvin says that they need events with more meatballs. I'm a little disappointed. I thought Chelsea and Teresa were going to jump on here. I'm going to have to say something that you were asking about the meatballs. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you stepping in tonight and kind of helping me through the live stream tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. If I don't see you this weekend, I will see you next Monday here, 8:05 Eastern Standard Time. Take care.
Certified free, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy good. My pull-out game weak. Ooh, yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Swimming in it, baby. I'ma bring a bucket and a mop, darling. Give you everything I got. I'm falling. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Beat it up, catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put your pussy in my face, sweep my nose like a credit card. I'm on top, you wanna ride, do a gig or I'll listen to spit in your mouth, girl, while you're looking in my eyes. Your pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like you're a prize. Let's role play, I'll wear disguise, I'ma park my Mack truck in your garage. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Swimming in it, baby. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Pussy. Gobble me, swallow me, drip it down inside of me. I gotta jump out before it gets inside of you. Tell me where to put it, but don't tell what you about to do. Talk your shit, baby, bite your lip, girl. Ask for a car while you riding that dick. Oh, I'm on top, you wanna ride, do a giggle while it's inside. Spit in your mouth, girl, while you're looking in my eyes. Your pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like you're a prize. Let's role play, I'll wear disguise, I'ma park my Mack truck in your garage.